talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Take you like a pill. Fill you like a pill to get my fill. No, do me in the worst way. Don't let me sleep, never say you're sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave, baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Take you like a pill. Fill you like a pill to get my fill. No, the sound asleep. Do me in the worst way. Don't let me sleep. Never say sorry. At the edge of space, calling us to fly away. Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come and fly, come and fly, come and fly away with me. We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. I know it has been a long week that we have been away, but we are finally back, getting ready to start off the season 2 playoffs here at the Rose League. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Dr. Heathen on the color mic this evening. How you doing, Dr. Heathen?
I'm doing pretty well. Excited for today's match to the start of the playoff season, and excited to get back into casting because we've been gone for the entire week, which is really unfortunate.
I know, we were trying so hard to get kind of like some scrims going that we could do, and it would just one after the other. Dominoes just kept falling, and we could not make it happen. So tonight's match is 4th and 5th seed in Conference 2 for Platinum Division, Team Rebirth versus Lost Coyotes. Both teams are literally a map differential of 1 point away from each other. It is absolutely nuts right now.
Yeah, it's a super close match if we're just looking at the scoreboard going into this. Neither team have had the opportunity to play each other during the normal season, so this is actually the first team they're going to see each other. Interested to see what they're going to be pulling out on Elio's first point. Looks like we see on the side of Team Rebirth we have a Pharah comp, but not super certain that they're going to stick with that because I don't see a Mercy with it. And usually you want to bring a Mercy along if you're going to commit to the Pharah play.
It all depends. I've seen some solo Pharahs. You do have Spielberg coming in on the Ana, so you do have that distance heal if need be. And Tokagaru coming in on the Lucio, so you've got the AoE heals for the rest of the team. Looks like we're going to be seeing a very similar composition, actually a goats composition coming out for the side of Lost Coyotes. So we got a 2-2-2 for the side of Team Rebirth. Lost Coyotes coming out with goats, and they're going to go ahead and start things off, but Upgradi ends up getting the first kill onto Puff. That Zenyatta pick is going to be huge as Muffin's coming in onto Krev to finish that up. It's 4v6 fight, make that 4v3 as our Sismo ends up getting taken up, and Upgradi getting the double kill on the objective as Tokagaru gets the final kill onto Big Dwarf. And we're going to end up seeing Team Rebirth take control of the objective and start this match off right.
And we immediately see the Lost Coyotes switching up their composition, going for the 2-2-2 style comp. I believe this is a Mira barring they have a Genji substituted in for the Pharah.
You're going to be okay.
Yes, it looks like.
Yep. But there's a lot of ultimates for them to overcome right now in this engagement.
That's going to be huge. Both DPS ultimates coming online right now. And I'm not for certain. Puppy Love ends up getting the first kill onto our Smizmo as Upgradi ends up taking out a and as well getting that kill onto Big Dwarf right there, 34%, and climbing right now as Team Rebirth continues to hold a very strong forward momentum off the objective, essentially keeping Lost Coyotes in spawn.
And even though Lost Coyotes fell really quickly, both sides will have Earthshatter coming into this engagement, which Lost Coyotes really needed this because they don't quite have Sound Barrier yet, and Encounter Shatter is kind of the only response that they're going to be able to have if Puppy Love were to land her own Earthshatter.
All right, well, let's see it happen. 61% and climbing right now for Team Rebirth as the Nano Barrage comes out from Muffin. Ends up taking down the tanks. Tokagaru ends up getting Big Dwarf with the boop. And Upgradi taking down Puff. Kreb and will also fall, and the team kill will ring true. Oh, is it? See, now they're messing with us when we ask them pronunciations. In the chat, they're saying that it's upgrade.
Sorry, I was giving you gravy.
I know. See, we now they're just screwing with us. That's not cool, folks. 91% and climbing as they push in. This is the last hit. Here comes the Nano Blade from Big Dwarf. Ends up taking down Spielberg, but Tokagaru ends up getting our Sismo as Grim falls to Muffin. Big Dwarf able to get Tokagaru in return as Mortha follows up on Puppy Love. Muffin's getting the double kill, but still not able to retake the objective as the beat drop ends up coming in from to keep the objective alive right now. 10% and climbing as is currently in control of the Lost Coyotes. Able to get the boot kill onto Muffins right there and still holding strong on the objective despite it being a 4v1 fight. Make that 4v2. Gets the boop, but Tokagaru gets the boop also onto Grab. Here comes the Graviton Surge coming out from Potato, and it looks like it's gonna be a Potato because there was nobody in it. Overtime taken away right now as Team Rebirth ends up coming out into a barrage within a Graviton that came out from Morsa, and that is going to be the end of round one. Elios Lighthouse going to Team Rebirth.
And that was an absolutely terrifying performance coming out of Team Rebirth. They didn't lose a single team member, not one death, until it came down to the last fight. And that last fight lasted for a while, but they were able to secure it back. Up until that point, absolutely flawless gameplay. And it's going to be tough for Lost Coyotes to be able to match that. However, there is control point. We are on well now. It's going to be a little bit of a different composition, and Lost Coyotes might have a bit of an opportunity that they didn't have on the last map. And they're going to need to find something to exploit on the side of this Team Rebirth lineup.
And we've got an interesting composition coming out for the side of Lost Coyotes. We don't usually have a dive composition on well. Definitely don't want to be falling into that hole as we see with Puppy Love and Potato coming out with the Orisa Roadhog right there. Almost ends up pulling our Smidmo right into the well, but Morsa ends up getting the kill onto Puppy Love with the rockets, looking to take out Potato as well. As Kreb working in the backline on the Tracer. Big Dwarf getting some picks as well, but Muffin's gonna get the boot kill on the Puff as we go ahead and see Lost Coyotes taking the objective first this time around, 8% and climbing.
Yep, we saw So that was a beautiful use of taking some space, killing off the McCree, opened up the entire point for Farah to play wherever she wanted, and she just managed to sit above this Rebirth lineup and pour down damage from above, and they weren't able to sustain through that.
No, it was not. Big Dwarf ends up picking off Upgrade early on in that fight, which is really the only... Oh, the barrage coming out from Big Dwarf ends up getting the invincibility field, but Krev cleaning up the backline ends up getting both tanks as Hum comes in with the res for Big Dwarf, and they'll get a kill onto Spielberg. Upgrade able to come back in and take Krev out of the picture, 45% and climbing right now for Lost Coyotes as they continue to hold strong on this objective and have the ultimates to match.
And we see a swap coming out from Team Rebirth, but Upgrade hasn't been in any fight yet. He's always died on the way, and he's really the only solution that they have at this far.
That is really the only thing. Or Muffin's got to focus. Here comes the amplification matrix, but we're going to have the nanoed monkey coming out, and we also have Puppy Love swapping over to the Rhine with Potato on Zarya. It is, again, an interesting composition for Well. Not something you usually see on here, and honestly, I'm really surprised that we are seeing this dive composition work so well on a map that doesn't favor dive as well as we'd like to think.
Well, I feel like once you get past this well, the map really opens up to dive, and that's where they're playing right now, hovering over the enemy team. They take out Spielberg once again.
That's huge.
Get anywhere.
Bomb coming out from Morsa. Doesn't end up getting much of anything, but does push the team back. Archmismo getting the double kill on both tanks. His Upgrade is able to take down Big Dwarf. Muffins comes in with the barrage, but gets eaten up by Morsa. His Upgrade getting the punch kill on the but Archmismo follows up on that, 99%, and overtime ticking away. Lost Coyotes almost following up on that, but Muffin's able to get res at the nick of time to be able to hold on to the objective. Potato coming back in as the Diva, and Puppy Love swaps over to the Hammond right now. Another interesting pick for this map, as they are just playing over the well right now, which is incredibly interesting. Paz able to take Muffin out of the air right now as we see the barrage coming out from Big Dwarf, able to take down Potato, and Trev ends up getting Puppy Love and the D-Mech onto Potato as well from Morsa. Archmismo follows up with the punch kill on Tokagaru as Trev follows up on Upgrade. Overtime continuing to tick away as Spielberg tries to hold on, but it is going to be a complete shutout here at Elios Well, 100-0 for the Lost Coyotes.
Yeah, just talking a moment ago about how Lost Coyotes need to find some way to abuse this Rebirth composition, and it looks like they found that pretty well. Expecting, I guess. They probably were expecting the bunker composition coming out, bringing the Orisa Baptiste and bringing the Pharah to that seemed like a pretty brilliant move, just how it was executed, how they were able to focus down the hit scan and open up the space. It was very well played. And both teams showing a really dominant performance on the respective map wins so far. It's going to be interesting to see how they move over to this map, as it is historically really sniper heavy. And it looks like we see Team Rebirth noticing that right now, opting to go for the double sniper composition into Afara. It's going to be a lot more challenging for Big Dork to get his value.
Well, let's see if they can pull it off, though. Krev, as you know, ended up playing in the finals on the winning team for the Gold Division. So seeing them once again in the Platinum Division and being able to help their team right now is really working out well for them. Big Dwarf able to get the first kill after the D-Mac onto Potato, as Morsa follows up on Puppy Love. Upgrade able to get the first pick onto though, for the side of Team Rebirth as they continue contesting the objective right now. It looks like it is between Lucio and Tokagaru and Krev right now, and that is going to fall in Krev's favor as they take out Muffins as well. Upgrade able to pick off Puff right there, but it may not be enough as is already in control. They're continuing to fight, and the Nano already coming out from Spielberg as the Pulse Bomb from Crab. Ends up getting the double kill there in the backline. Upgrade able to pick off our Gizmo as Morsa follows up on Potato. Here comes the Primal Rage out from Puppy Love, hooping everybody around as Muffin able to take down Big Dwarf, but Puff returning the favor on to Muffin is still in control right now for the side of Lost Coyotes as the Nano from Puff ends up finding its way to Morsa, and 34% continues to climb for the side of Lost Coyotes.
And we see a really interesting range battle going on right now. We have Upgrade trying to zone out Puff, who had been previously uncontested on most maps. And Puff now has to take a lot more care where he's standing, and he's not getting as much value.
Woo! That anti-nade kill. Here comes the barrage out from Big Dwarf, but ends up getting eaten and slammed by the combination of Muffins and Potato, but the DMAC is going to come out thanks to Puff onto Potato as the Diva Bomb comes out from Morsa, ends up taking Spielberg out of the fight as our Shimismo follows up onto Kagaru. Both heels out of the picture as Prep ends up getting the mini Potato, and Muffins ends up getting followed up on by Morsa. Upgrade able to get the pick on our Schmizmo, but right now it is 75% and climbing for the side of Lost Coyotes, and they're looking to make it another undefeated match.
Yeah, going into this next engagement, however, they're going to have to be aware that Potato has built Diva Bomb. An Upgrade taking out Big Door. That's exactly how they want to start things off. Rez not selected, but it looks like they have 3 picks already.
Woo! Double snipe kill right there as Muffins ends up taking down Puff. Upgrade able to get the next 2 picks onto our Schmizmo and Krev right there as Puppy Love follows up on Morsa at the 97% mark. We will see Team Rebirth go ahead and swap it right on over into their favor. I gotta say, the interesting pick right there is the fact that for the most part, the Faro from Big Dwarf was working for them. Why do you think they switched over to the sniper comp now?
I think they realized that Puff was in. Well, there's an engagement going right now. Deep was dropped.
We'll get back to that. Woo! Spielberg and Muffins ends up taking down the heels on the side of Lost Coyotes, but Krev returning the favor onto Spielberg as Muffins ends up taking down Archmismo and Krev right there. That's going to go ahead and clean up a majority of the team as we end up seeing Morsa get staggered on the objective, and it's a super stagger trying to run away, but Puppy Love getting that taser shot right in the bum-bum on the Morsa there at the end. That's going to be a huge stagger, 50% and climbing right now for the side of Team Rebirth, and the fight is still continuing as Potato already picking off Big Dwarf right as they come out of spawn.
So yeah, going back to touch on that Widow pick, which is now a Genji pick, I think part of it was Puff realizing that he's under pressure from Upgrade on the Widowmaker, as well as some of his teammates are under pressure likely, and they needed to swap off fire to something that could go directly fight that, because he just wasn't getting the results he needed. But he's not getting them on Genji either. Upgrade taking out.
Just seem to always know where they're at. Muffins clicking off Puff as well as Morsa ends up getting the D-Mech onto Potato. Here comes the Primal Rage out from Puppy Love, looking to give some hugs with those big old fat arms. And Upgrade gonna get the punch kill onto Morsa. Our Schmizmo though getting the double kill onto Mini Potato and Upgrade in the backline right there. That might be exactly what they need. 98, 99% overtime taking away. Triple kill coming in with Krev on that pulse bomb and the follow-up as Puff ends up taking down the counter. Spielberg 99% right now for Team Rebirth, 97, 98, 99, and Lost Coyotes in a very last ditch effort there at the end are going to swap over Ruins into their favor and go ahead and take the first map here on Helios. Play of the game ends up going to Muffins on the Fara, and believe me, that ain't Muffins coming out of that rocket, folks, and that is a pick. That is some damage. And the double boop. Oh, nope, single boop. But still good. Still good, folks.
Hold up.
And I gotta give some love. Go ahead.
Krev just pulled an absolute miracle out of his hat.
Oh, yeah.
Situation, landing the pulse bomb onto the Winston, removing most of his HP as well as 2 of his teammates, leaving him in a 2v1 against Spielberg. Turning that around, that was insane.
That was incredibly insane. Looking in the chat right now, Upgrade CS really cheering on Upgrade right now, calling out for the Pogs on that. Cube in the chat saying these casters are honestly pretty pog. Thank you so much. We do this for the love of the game, folks. We do it for the love of the game. So it is already the end of match number 1 here at the beginning of the playoffs for Platinum Division. Ilios going to the Lost Coyotes, but folks, it was an incredibly close match between these two teams, and I've got to say I'm really interested to see what is going to follow.
Yeah. After both teams, they're able to see each other. They have some teams mates to confer with right now to discuss what's going on. They have a 5-minute break to try and sort things out. Looking at the previous map, trying to figure out what they're going to be doing going into. It looks like it's going to be Eichenwald. Lost Coyotes had a lot of success on the Pharah, but that kind of shifted their opponents to go towards the Widowmaker, which forced them to shift off onto these dive DPS Genji Tracer, which did work out in their favor. If I'm Lost Coyotes right now, I think I'm trying to get Team Rebirth out of this Rhine-centric composition that they seem to like and that they seem to build their team around when they're setting up to play.
Well, we got to remember that Team Rebirth is coming into this as currently the team that's been leading against Lost Coyotes. So the fact that these two teams are scored so closely together here at the end, and now without actually looking back at the leaderboard over the weeks, we don't know kind of how this all ended up, whether Rebirth had a very strong beginning and kind of fell back at the end, or if it's kind of been a mishmash between both teams all the way through. But I mean, they obviously wouldn't be in the top 5 seeding if they didn't have that similar skill that they have to Lost Coyotes. They did end up taking Ilios Lighthouse, and maybe they might be able to find something a little easier as we move on to actually, I believe it's supposed to be our escort map, isn't it? Isn't hybrid usually after the halftime?
I think that's down to our ref to figure out. I'm
Probably
really uncertain about what.
I don't know. Playoffs seem to have some different rules that I have still yet to figure out just yet. But yeah, I will make sure to verify with them while I go ahead and do that. Folks, if this is your first time joining us, welcome. We are the Rose League, currently in the end part of Season 2, going through our playoffs for Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and Grand Masters division. If you want to follow all the action going on in the next couple of weeks, go ahead, hit that heart button at the top of your screen. That'll give you an alert just about every day. Our normal schedule is Monday through Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also hit that subscribe button, $4.99, or a free Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription would help out our community a ton. This season alone, at the beginning of the season, we had 79 teams, if I remember correctly. 79 teams between Gold and Grandmaster Division. Blew my mind when I knew how many teams were going to be playing this season, and that we literally could not play them all. We could not cast them all. And I am just continuing to be impressed and excited of what is going to happen next here at the Rose League. It looks like we are going to end up going to Eichenwald, which is going to be our hybrid map next. It is going to be interesting to see how these teams are going to set up on here, seeing how the control map went to begin with. What are you thinking here, Dr. Heathen? How do you think this is all going to play out?
Well, did you want that statistic on how Rebirth season's been going? Because
sure,
I know that one.
I
know you talked about it a moment ago.
Oh, okay.
But so Team Rebirth, they had kind of a trouble middling of their season, but they managed to win the last 4 games in a row. So they're definitely having a lot of momentum coming into this map. I don't know what your idea was on that earlier, but I remember you were talking about that, and I just wanted to bring up what
I
the actual
just wasn't
statistic was.
I wasn't absolutely for certain. I haven't been following the statistics as closely, and as I said before,
Yeah, I
with
got
79 teams, it's kind of hard to know what everybody's doing off the top of your head. So it is good to know that Rebirth is coming into the playoffs with essentially a win streak. It does interest me to then know, and we might figure this out during halftime, how the Lost Coyotes have been doing. Because honestly, it seems like they're starting off their playoffs pretty well, despite wherever it is they've come from.
If I remember correctly, they had a really good start of their season, but the last few weeks have been win, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
Mm-hmm.
But they just won, I believe, their first 3 games in a row this season, and that put them in a really good spot to get playoffs later on.
Nothing wrong with that. So it seems like both of these teams are really kind of having a waxing and waning season. It's really going to be interesting to see how how they will weather the weather as we go into what is actually our next match. It looks like we were right on that one. Junkertown, our escort map, is actually going to be next. And then we're going to take our halftime break and excuse me. Every time we go to Junkertown, I always get this little tickle in my throat as if something explodey is coming up. I'm just so excited. Sorry. What was I saying?
Rubbing your hand on your face, unfortunately, doesn't have a sound with it.
I love me some Junkrat on this map, although I doubt we will see it. Escort on Junkertown tends to be very much sniper central, or we will see similarly what we saw from Big Dwarf. During the fights on Ilios. We're going to see a lot of sky action with the Egyptian Princess Farah in the air during objectives 1 and 2. Right now, looking into
I think it's likely we see neither of those things. Looks like we have a bunker composition coming out from the defense, and right now the offense is looking like they want to go dive. They have the Doomfist along with the Diva, which
I don't think that's where they're going to end up.
Is it?
I don't think they're going to go triple DPS with a Zen healer. That's odd.
Where's the third DPS then? Oh, yeah. I see it now. Yep.
There we go. Alrighty.
They're still sitting on the dive composition.
That makes more sense. They are going to stick on the dive, though. Let's go ahead and see if we can... I'm interested to see how this bunker composition works. You don't usually see a whole lot of bunker on this map, as we already see Upgrade coming in with the double kill. The res coming in from to bring back our Smismo, but they're going to continue to fight all around the objective as they continue to hold on. 3 minutes, 30 seconds have already passed on the clock as the bunker comp and Upgrade is continuing to just rain bullet after bullet down. Potato able to finish off the kill onto with the hook right there. And with 50 seconds already worn off the clock, they have got to figure out what they're going to do against this bunker.
I think part of the problem was they took a little bit too much damage on the dive from the Bastion, not quite able to get the defense matrix there in time. I think if they were to do that a little bit more cleanly, it'd be really challenging right now because Upgrade does have tank form already. So this Bastion can become mobile very quickly, but Spielberg getting taken out of the fight.
Oh, there it goes! That's gonna be huge! Dragon Strike coming in from Big Dwarf, looking to take him out, but the invincibility field's gonna go ahead and keep them into the action for now as gets the res on to Krev, who's coming in as the Sombra. Upgrade ends up taking down as Potato ends up getting the final shot on to Krev. That's gonna go ahead and push them back to spawn as they go ahead and get set up in the bunker once again. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock, and the payload is barely inching forward.
Yeah, it's not very far at all, and Upgrade's still sitting on tank form ultimate. They didn't... Team Rebirth held that without using any ultimates, I believe. They're committing the amplification right now, which seems a little bit weird, but it pays off. They managed to pick out Big Dwarf, which is going to waste Mercy's Resurrection.
They're just wasting time right now. The res comes in for Big Dwarf from and honestly, as a person who's been playing Bastion for like the last 2 years, honestly, his tank form isn't the greatest. You do so much more damage so quickly without kind of that, if they happen to move out of the way kind of thing at the last second when you shoot that rocket. So the fact that Upgrade's holding on to that actually isn't as surprising as we've been talking about, although that misplaced shield might put Upgrade in a bad position as we see the hack coming in on Tokagaru from Krev. Muffins ends up getting the bomb right in the face of Krev to finish that off as the hook comes in from Potato, ends up taking down our Schmizmo as Upgrade and Puppy Love follow up on and Morsa. The Valkyrie ends up getting popped by Spielberg, but it looks like it really just wasn't needed.
Yeah, we see right now Lost Coyotes is trying to just play against the wall Rebirth is sitting on, and the halts coming out from Puppy Love aren't getting stopped, and it means they're getting a lot of value. They're able to easily take out the enemy Mercy every time she flies in to try and get some healing off. And it's just a big weakness right now on Lost Coyotes that they need to fix, and they only have 45 seconds left to do it.
They're waiting for the EMP. I see it coming. Krev inching closer and closer to that EMP, which is a huge thing.
Under.
Here comes Krev, EMP! That's gonna be a 5-man EMP! Diva Bomb ends up going in along with the Dragon Strike. Everything seems to be missing though right now as the Valk ends up getting popped by. They go ahead and start working their way into the objective. They end up falling. Puppy Love, which could be huge, and Upgrade ends up getting taken down by Krev. Muffin's able to get the concussion mine kill onto our Schmizmo as Tokagaru ends up getting red by Spielberg. Here comes the application measures with 3 seconds on the clock. Krev and Big Dwarf currently holding on to the objective as Muffins ends up taking out of the fight after the res. Here comes the Mongos out from Puppy Love now back in the fight as Potato looking to get behind and get some hooks as Tokagaru ends up taking down our Schmizmo, but Puff able to get those balls in on to Puppy Love as Krev follows up on Tokagaru. Big Dwarf ends up getting the kill onto Muffin. Potato coming in with the whole hog and nothing but the hog ends up getting the triple kill in overtime right now, but the objective still moving forward. That Potato ends up taking down Big Dwarf mid-ultimate, and Upgrade rains bullets onto before they can get to the final objective resting place. Whoa! Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was... God, I hate to say, but that was a little bit sloppy coming out of the side of Lost Coyotes. Throwing the Diva Bomb after the EMP just gives your opponent so much time to move out of the way, and they fell back to the open area behind them, and it meant that Lost Coyotes, while they were trying to jump in, ended up really split on that offensive. And the only real reason I can think of to try and throw the Diva Bomb after the EMP is because you're scared that you're going to lose the Diva Mech mid-travel. And it looked really sloppy, and it looked a little bit miscoordinated. I'd like to see them come back in a later map and maybe pull that off successfully, but right now they have a very, very hard defense to hold. First point Junkertown is not an easy feat, and Rebirth just did it, so it's up to Lost Coyotes to outdo that or lose a point and tie up the series.
That is incredibly true right there. It looks like they are going for the bunker composition or they're going for the bunker this time as well onto the defense, but we also have a pirate ship-ish composition coming out, a basic 2-2-2, but you got Upgrade still on the... Oh, nope, they're going double sniper. They're going to try to essentially outspeed and damage this composition if at all possible. And especially with Potato having that Graviton Dragon Strike combo is going to be huge. And it's really going to be on the shoulders of Puff to make sure that Immortality Field is up at the right time.
Yeah, going this engagement, Bastion versus Bastion composition. Upgrade gets taken out. It's gonna be,
and that's gonna be a hard start. Drew getting that triple kill as our Schmizmo ends up taking down Puppy Love. Puff following up on Spielberg. The res did end up coming in for Upgrade, but not being able to set up on the payload is going to prevent them from being able to set up. I'm looking in the chat right now.
Misplaced.
Oh no, misplaced shield,
Crab doesn't
but we
have a
got the
shield.
immortality field to keep everybody up for the moment. And that shield's back up in position right now. Looking in the chat, it seems like everybody's surprised that we're not seeing more goats as the amplification matrix ends up coming out from Puff, raining bullets down onto Puppy Love and Muffin. Rev is just cleaning up the objective right now, and it honestly feels like there's no way they're going to get past this. I'm actually kind of surprised that we're seeing Upgrade and Muffin swapping over to the Junk and Farah, but they have already got ultimates online only after one fight.
Yeah, it's really heavy shield break, and I think they're just trying to do enough damage that Orissa's shield won't be up, and then they have to get Immortality Field out, and then they have to break the shield again. Would have to be their win condition, but that's just going to take a long time. They have 2 minutes to make this happen, and really, with that style of play, they're only going to have 2 fights.
All right, well, here comes the tire out from Upgrade, looking to get it in there, ends up missing at the Mirage. Also coming out from Muffins, ends up, taking themselves out. I'm not for certain how that went down, but Kreb just cleaning up the objective right now. Upgrade able to get Puff, but not long enough as comes in with the res. It is a 6-man fight once again. 1 minute 50 seconds on the clock, and it doesn't look like Lost Coyotes are going anywhere.
It really feels like Rebirth are just sending out their Reinhardt as a sacrificial lamb, not really getting any value right now out of this main tank, and he always just seems to be walking down the middle of the field, losing his shield, getting burnt out.
And that is not the way to play this. Here comes the tire, now this time from Big Dwarf, and ends up getting the double kill in the back line right there as they continue to hold this bunker composition with just furious abandon right here. I'm actually kind of surprised, at least when we saw Trev swap over to the Sombra, they were able to at least dislodge it, but right now,
well, that was like basically overtime in the house, and that's where we're going to right now.
That is where we're getting to. Will it be enough? Oh, Muffin ends up getting the double kill. That amplification matrix does not a shield provide, as Muffins ends up taking down an Upgrade. Gets our Chismo with the tire. Muffin's cleaning up the objective right now. The only one nearby is Puff on the Batiste, and it looks like Upgrade has got a grenade with their name on it as the payload moves past the choke position. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. The chat is blowing up with Spam This Dog to help Upgrade Pog. But right now, it doesn't look like the Poggers are going to be coming out, except for the tank mode from Kreb. It's a beat the double, but Muffin ties it up with a triple. Ends up taking down Muffin in Valkyrie form. It's Big Dwarf on the McCree, takes down Puppy Love. Sokagaru getting the double kill, triple kill at the Zenyatta. And we're going to end up seeing Team Rebirth walking away with a victory this evening as well, tying up the series 1-1 here on Junkertown. Play of the game has to go to one of the Bastions. Looks like it's gonna be Krev this time around, and this was just a melting pot. Just boom, boom.
Honestly,
nom.
Honestly, I think play of the game should have been that Graviton Rocket Barrage there at the end. That was a really nice combo, and the fact that they managed to hold on to that through the previous foot push kind of solidified their victory in that final fight.
Well, that's the funny part about yeah, I guess we didn't see the barrage, but we saw the tire.
Well, we did.
No,
No, Barrage came out with the Graviton Surge in the final engagement, right?
No, yes, I'm saying the bunker engagement before that, we only saw the tire. I thought I had seen the barrage as well, but I was mistaken. Yes, I would agree. That is incredibly impressive from the side of Team Rebirth, being able to hold on to those key ultimates until the final set, so that they were able to push that little bit there at the end. And then, holy goodness, Tokagaru on that Zenyatta just popping off there at the end, and just absolutely incredible. Well, this is going to be our halftime break, so we're going to take about 5 minutes. Go ahead, get yourself a drink, a snack, use the restroom, whatever you need. Invite your friends over to watch some Overwatch, maybe? Yeah, that'd be cool. We'll see you all back here in about 5 minutes.
Hey, we got an army. Oh, 'cause we know deep down in the world on this rock we got all these rules that everyone keep making up. Who the fuck is they? I wanna meet with them. I wanna be one if I wanna be their friend. We gonna make it look close. We gonna love all night. We gonna have a moment that we say goodbye. I don't give a fuck about they. 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 I don't give a fuck about they.
I ain't hit you back and now you overreacting. Hate that shit with a passion. Yeah. Have a little self-respect, don't wanna put you on blast, but you should go ahead and practice. Shut the fuck up right now and let me breathe. Shut the fuck up right now, let me do my thing. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Quit hitting my phone up, quit hitting my phone up, quit hitting my phone. Slow down. I ain't hit you back, now you overreacting. I don't play that elastic. You be like, when we gon' fuck, what we gon' do? You should try and quit asking. Much shit in my face, on my back, on the phone. Ain't been famous for a while, but I'm still up in my zone. And I don't usually smoke, but I'm high on sativa. T-word in my tea, I smell like heaven, I'm a diva. In the lead so loud, I'm a speaker that I cannot hear you know I'm gone. Don't you be blowing up my phone, I'm in a different time zone. Ever since the matter of time, my girls is better than mine. Oh, the band is the good, you am, but you still don't know how to handle your mind. That's probably why you hit me more. Yeah, I got a rule 'cause I done it before. This fucking big Jones and don't fuck 'em no more 'cause they can fall in love if you fucking afford. Don't get me wrong, I really like it when we're vibing. I'm in another city, shh, be quiet.
She constantly calling my phone, bitch. Got me gotta go home, bitch. Play about all of my phone, bitch. These numbers eating my phone. Shit, the tricks they caught it. From city, she still on it. Switch whips on the week, she saw it. Speak to my ass, I can my jaws, and they felt like one, she got it. She called me the
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to an amazing match here at the Rose League Season 2 playoffs between Team Rebirth and Lost Coyotes. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Dr. Heathen on the color mic. Looking in the chat right now, it seems that we have some people asking why Upgrade is in Masters. And I just want to reiterate something from our constitution that people may not understand. So the way that the teams are set up in the division is the average of all the members of the initial active roster. So if, say, in a platinum division, you have a masters player, that means they have either low enough plats or maybe even have gold players as well that kind of even out that balance. So it's not like a completely like OP position. Plus, we're also looking at them at the end of an 11-week season, which of course they could have between the beginning of the season and the end of the season totally, shot up between plat to diamond, diamond to masters, whatnot. So it is definitely something that we will
No, this
see.
is legal.
Huh? Yeah,
What?
it's something that is agreed upon by teams. They know that going in, so it is just the way it is, folks. And honestly, despite whatever the SR of either individual member may be, this match is incredibly close.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Ilya's third point was incredibly close. Junkertown first point was, you know what? I'll say it was pretty close. I guess
The battle of the bunkers.
Yeah,
The
Rebirth
battle
had
of the
pushed it
bunkers.
near overtime. I don't think they were actually in overtime,
They were pretty close.
but both teams are kind of pulling off feats that are a little bit surprising. Holding first point on Junkertown should be unusual. 100% to O is unusual on control point. Both teams have had their moment to shine, and it's going to be up to who can be more consistent with that.
Looking in the chat, apparently we're GM as casters. I wish that were so. And we're seeing the Symmetra comp coming out as they go ahead and teleport into the right room. That's going to break up the bunker just a little bit, not being able to get into the objective as the immortality field comes down. We're going to see Krev take it out as well as get the kill on the Puppy Love as Muffin follows up on Krev. Puff able to take down Potato as well. This bunker is not going to be able to hold strong right now as we continue to see Tokugaru kind of holding the objective on their own. Upgrade comes in, but Big Dwarf able to get the kill on Tokugaru and Forza able to get the double huge laser kill as the Zarya just ends up melting them, taking the objective with 3 minutes on the clock. That's going to add another 4 minutes. They've got 7 minutes to take objective number 2.
Yeah, on that first point defense, you can't, if you're playing the Bastion composition, you can't let your opponent get to point without either rotating or getting a pick, and it's just, they weren't able to get what they needed to get done there. Going into this next point, looks like both teams are waiting for the high ground right now, but they go back.
Drop and the charge, who's it gonna get? Archmismo ends up taking down Tokugaru. The shatter ends up coming in from Archmismo. I wasn't able to see who that got, but Upgrade is popping out the tank mode, ends up taking down Big Dwarf, but Archmismo uses the Fire Strike, and now the Nano to go ahead and clean up the objective with the help of Forza, getting Potato and Tokugaru. That first objective point looking to come in as Forza ends up taking down Muffins. We're going to end up seeing Spielberg trying to touch point, but not going to be successful. As Upgrade now in on the McCree, ends up getting the double kill on the Boom and Big Dwarf. Prep able to take down Upgrade in return as our Spitball gets the tackle on the Tokugaru coming out of spawn. Here comes the Maywall, but it's not going to be soon enough for them to touch. Ends up blocking their own team.
Well, they were grabbed in. They couldn't move.
Oh, no, okay. They were trying to save their own
themselves
skins. that makes sense then. I didn't see the grab during all that commotion, and honestly, there was like you're gonna have to sum that up for me, Dr. Heathen. What was that? That was literally a 2 minute 15 seconds match.
Yeah, so
Wow.
So I was trying to talk earlier about first point failing on the side of Rebirth's defense. Oh, talking's hard apparently. First point failed for Rebirth's defense. They weren't able to get the bunker composition to get the damage out that it needed to before the opponents got to point. And after that cap, there was just kind of a snowball effect. the attackers were able to drop Beat, they dropped Shatter, they dropped Nano Boost, they managed to get some picks, and there were some turnaround picks. It became a little bit brawly on the point for a moment as stall characters like Hammond came out from the side of Rebirth, and they managed to get 2 picks. But Graviton, just part of that snowball, there was so much ult charge ready on the side of Lost Coyotes that the Graviton kept Rebirth from getting to point, and they weren't able to contest.
It was, wow, it was just a rush, and that has been something, that's usually why we don't normally see Bunker on this position. If you do see Bunker, you usually see the Symmetra paired with it for the same reason we saw the Symmetra coming in, is just to be able to reposition very quickly. Unfortunately, because of that, they were not able to do so. It looks like we're going to see Big Dwarf coming out with the Mei, which is actually one of my favorite characters to play on this map, because unless you're going full dive, there's only one way in, folks. There's only one way in.
Oh, the wall misses.
But the wall misses on the corner right there, and Puppy Love's gonna punish that by taking down our Schmizmo. Krebs up getting anti-knitted and gets pooped to death by Muffins on the Lucio. The heals coming in, and Big Dwarf Icicles that ends up getting punched in the face by Upgrade. You could say they got an upgrade to the... Oh! That's a mighty tasty move.
There's no way Coyotes
falls right off the side. 3 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock as we go ahead and see Team Rebirth taking their first tick on objective 1. Ends up getting taken down by Tokugaru, but the charge comes in and out by our Schmizmo. As they try to return back to the objective, ends up getting trapped by Potato in the backline, almost looking to get almost off the objective as the second tick comes in after Big Dwarf gets taken down by Team Rebirth. Muffins following up on our Schmizmo as we see coming back in, that Reddit Lucio playing, but with those bars on the ceiling, it makes it really difficult to stay up. Upgrade able to get that bomb kill there at the end, and that's going to clear up the way to objective number 2 with 6 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
I actually really like that stall. It gave Lost Coyotes the chance to build up their ultimates, and they actually have a pretty good chance of contesting this fight, despite losing first pick so fast.
Oh, Diva Bomb going in! Oh! Shatter and counter Shatter as the next popped out. Our Schmizmo gets the double kill to start things off, and is looking to take this off the objective. Our Schmizmo is lighting up the kill feed right now as their protege Rev on the Brig ends up pushing Upgrade right off the side with the help of Puff, and that's going to obtain the objective and end up passing the objective time to beat for the side of Team Rebirth.
And we see Team Rebirth making some swaps right now. They swapped over Muffins and Potato onto DPS, and Potato so far has been their off tank. So I think that's just because they're favoring to keep Upgrade's Graviton Surge ready for this next engagement.
That is absolutely possible. Let's see if they can make it happen. They do have the Nano as well. Here comes the Blizzard from Big Dwarf to start things off as the charge coming in from our Schmizmo allows Puppy Love to fall, and Big Dwarf ends up killing Spielberg literally with the Blizzard itself. That's the mighty frosty kills right there as they continue to hold on to this doorway. 4 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock, and Lost Coyotes don't seem to be very lost right now.
Yeah. But Muffins 73% onto the Rocket Barrage. There's no Diva because it isn't full goats on the side of Lost Coyotes. So there is an opportunity for him to get that Rocket Barrage in if he were to build it up.
It is possible. Here comes the double Graviton right there. Getting the double kill onto Spielberg and Upgrade in there, but Potato just going in, doing damage as well on that Reaper, ends up clearing out the room. The only one left nearby is Puff, and a Big Dwarf on the point. Muffin's gonna take down Puff in the backline as ends up coming in to save Big Dwarf, taking down Potato. Krev getting the flail onto Muffins. That's gonna clear the objective once again, leaving only 4 minutes on the clock for Team Rebirth to take objective B.
And on that 2CP, if you don't get a full team wipe like you saw there, it just doesn't go your way. The respawns are so close that by the time they were able to turn from the fight, take out the heal relatively quickly, and that was the right decision, but there were already respawns coming out. They're gonna have to take this very cleanly if they want to get this done and manage to cap the point in order to get a chance at coming back in this map.
All right, boys! This is gonna be a bad shatter to start things off as Puppy Love takes down Greb and our Smithmo falls to Potato. Pup able to return the favor onto Muffins, though. That may be able to allow them to hold as the beat drop comes in from Tokagaru, holding everyone together. Puppy Love able to make it back in and get the fire strike onto a big dwarf right there. Upgrade following, looking to get the follow-up right there as Potato ends up taking down Morsa. We're going to see our Smithmo swap over to the Hammond, looking to get some boops or just get into the objective quickly. But Muffin's going to take down Kreb and Puff, who swapped over to the Tracer, and Tokagaru gets the boop onto and Upgrade follows up on our Smithmo. Tokagaru ends up getting the kill onto Big Dwarf. Morsa following up on the Upgrade. This may be exactly what Team Rebirth needs. 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock. First tick. Second tick, Puppy Love able to get the tackle onto. Here comes the barrage into the spawn, takes down our Smithmo, and Spielberg gets Puff with the ball of death. And that is going to be the end of round 2, tied up in this match right now. 2 minutes 35 seconds for the side of Team Rebirth, almost double the time for Lost Coyotes. We're going to see Team Rebirth once again go on to the attack since they have the lower time bank. Dr. Heathen, what do you think we're going to see them kind of swap up here, knowing what they could possibly expect from Lost Coyotes?
2 minutes, 35 seconds left on the clock. So Lost Coyotes ran the May last time, but there's such a threat of them running bunker like this.
I saw it. I saw it coming.
Yeah. So there's such a threat of bunker coming out when the time bank is below 4 minutes and you're on these overtime rounds, and it's going to be difficult to build up ultimates to dislodge this type of composition. But Team Rebirth are on goats. That's not great historically speaking on this point to go up against bunker. I would love to see them scout out what they're going against and then pick a composition based off of that, just because of seeing the May last time and the threat of this bunker composition that they're on right now and how deadly Bastion can be to Reinhardt barriers.
Actually, it might not be as bad as you may think because of the way that they're set up on the high ground. If Muffins can use that Lucio speed boost to pull them around the corner fast enough like they're doing right now, using Tokagaru's defense matrix to eat up the bullets, that's going to allow them to take the high ground. But with the immortality field up, Morsa and Kreb end up getting the first couple kills on the objective. Our Smithmo taking down Spielberg, but Tokagaru gets the kill in return. Upgrade following up on the Big Door takes down Tokagaru. Upgrade following up on our Smithmo. Is a 2v3 fight around the objective right now as both teammates are separated. We're going to see Muffin able to get back into the objective as the tackle coming in from Puppy Love, almost takes down Puff. Thank goodness for that immortality field that Puppy Love takes right out of the game as Muffin gets the move onto Big Dwarf. We're going to see the amplification matrix end up getting popped by Puff, trying to hold onto this objective as long as possible. Our Smithmo looking to do that spin to win and takes down Puppy Love, going back to the objective, using that bell to try to defend as long as possible. The Dragon Strike comes out from Big Dwarf all the way from spawn, ends up missing altogether, and Tokagaru taking down Kreb as they get back to the objective. 1 minute, 5 seconds remaining on the clock. Only one tick had for Team Rebirth as the bell rings. Thanks to the fire strike coming in. Muffin following up on as gets the boop kill onto Upgrade. 55 seconds on the clock. Just maybe second tick almost. And Morsa coming in with the Diva Bomb. Ends up moving Ryan out of the way with the help of our Gizmo. Ends up taking down Potato. This may be exactly what they need. Kreb taking down Spielberg in return as Puppy Love follows up on Big Dwarf. right there. 35 seconds on the clock. Diva Bomb coming in from Tokogaru. Ends up taking down Arshmismo. 30 seconds on the clock. Kreb trying to get in that backline and take care of Upgrade and Tokogaru, and will be successful. Ends up demeching with the help of Morsa. Gets the kill onto Puppy Love. They're currently staggering Tokogaru on the objective as Morsa ends up getting demeched as well by Spielberg. He ends up getting the kill onto Muffin. 8 seconds on the clock as the Coalescence ends up getting popped out from Potato as Kreb takes down Tokogaru. Big score following up on Spielberg as Kreb ends up taking down Upgrade, Potato, and Puppy Love, the only ones left on the objective as the beat drop comes out from to try to get Potato off of it. Overtime ticking away right now as we now see Tokogaru come back in on the Hammond, trying to hold on as long as possible, spin to win, and Muffin trying to get some move kills as well. Tokogaru ends up taking care of Arshmismo, but Morsa ends up following up onto Tokogaru as well. 2 ticks on the objective, overtime ticking away, and Team Rebirth is not able to complete Objective 1.
What? Oh my god. Get this man some water. What was that, a 4-minute fight? Most of it
It feels that long when you're not breathing. It's about a minute and a second.
They started on a Bastion composition. That feels like ages ago. But 5 minutes 45 seconds left on the clock to get just over 2 ticks. Lost Coyotes put themselves in a pretty good position with that defense. And what a defense it was. I'm not going to bother breaking that down. There's so much that happened there. It looks like on the attack right now from Lost Coyotes, they are currently sitting on the Reaper. I don't think this is something we've seen from them so far, but it is something we've seen coming out of Rebirth recently. They could be trying to mirror that. They could be expecting to get into their brawl situation. And of course, Reaper, if he isn't focused on immediately in a brawl, his lifesteal and his high damage output in close range makes him super lethal and very good at cleaning those up. But it requires you to get in such a situation that can be utilized effectively. Meanwhile, on the defense, we see the May Junkrat composition. It's going to be... I hate to say that it's going to be up to Muffins to wall somebody off. We can't have another slip up of the wall like Lost Coyotes did. If that happens, it's going to be very difficult for them to hold this objective.
It's going to be difficult because we're going to see Kreb once again coming in on the Sombra. So even if they pop that wall up and the teleporter already moving in as the move comes in from the concussion mine of Upgrade, they're moving into the objective, but Upgrade able to get the first pick onto Big Dwarf. The tackle misses from Puppy Love and will be punished by Arshmismo. 5 minutes 15 seconds on the clock as the turrets go up for Kreb. Muffins is able to take down more from the Kreb following up onto Tokogaru. Is a 4v2 fight on the objective rank. Make that 4v3 right now. It's Muffin 4v2-1 as Muffin's just cleaning up the objective. Upgrade getting that concussion mine kill on the frozen Arshmismo, but gonna boost that Upgrade right off the edge. We're gonna see Big Dwarf trying to come back in, ends up getting melted by Potato, but takes Muffins with them as well, and the spawn just continues to rain down bodies and damage as Big Dwarf swaps over to the Mara and Kreb swapping over to the Tracer. Here comes the Nano, make that a double Nano. Both Rhymes doing damage, but only one has the anti-nade on them, but they're able to hold on thanks to coming in with the beat drop. Arshmismo gets the fire strike onto Potato as Kreb and Arshmismo take down Upgrade, and Spielberg Kreb following up onto Tokogaru. The only one left on the objective is Muffin as we see 2 frozen enemies on the objective, but it's not going to be enough. First tick, 4 minutes on the clock. Second tick gonna hit, and that's going to be the game. Lost Coyotes walking away, giving them the lead in the series 2-1 here on Hanamura.
God, these fights are just so close. They take forever. The opening up of that engagement took everyone kind of everywhere. And the respawn coming back, it looks like it just came back a little bit faster from the attackers is to be expected, and they managed to clean it up very nicely. Lost Coyotes pulling a nice 2-1 lead in the series so far. If they manage to win one more map, they'd close out the series.
That is true, and they will continue moving their way up the rankings in the playoffs. And I gotta say, the strategy that we were seeing from both teams is really something that you hit on right there. As the spawning team, the attacking team, you can get to the objective much faster than the defending team. So even though Team Rebirth only had about 2.5 minutes to take the objective, they weren't cleaning up those final kills on the objective fast enough. Lost Coyotes making up for that mistake, even though they did have, they could have made that mistake over and over again with the time bank that they had. Were doing exactly as you said, picking off those very specific people that were holding on to the objective as long as possible, and that ended up winning them the series. We're going to be moving on to map number 4, our hybrid match. We're going to actually be heading to Eichenwald this time, folks. I promise. And this is going to be it. Team Rebirth did take it back on, did take a match on the escort map, so this could be popping up in Team Rebirth's favor. And if that's the case, then we're already seeing a map 5 in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest right now. I'm going back and rewatching that last fight. There was so much going on; it was difficult to follow absolutely everything. But next map gonna be Eichenwald. I'm not sure how I feel about this map. That both teams have been super close every time they butted heads, and every fight looks like it could go anywhere basically off of the flip of a coin at this point. Going to Eichenwald, we're going to see another opportunity for some bunker compositions. Both teams have been experimenting, running those entirely unsuccessful so far. No, there was one outside of Junkertown, it was unsuccessful, but Junkertown, it was super successful. So I guess that comment is entirely unwarranted.
Yep.
But yeah,
honestly, I feel like it really comes down to this first objective, because we're seeing an assault type objective with the hybrid at the start. If Lost Coyotes can do exactly as they did during the defense on Hanamura, they can lock out Team Rebirth from completing any further on Eichenwald. I feel if Rebirth is able to get past objective 1 and get that payload moving, they may take this match and take us to a map 5. If Lost Coyotes can hold out that 4 minutes the entire time, we may be seeing some 5th seed moving their way up the leaderboards.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree that first point's probably gonna be the most challenging for Team Rebirth, just because we saw earlier that when Upgrade gets on this Widowmaker, he wins his duels and he gets a lot of value. And second point is such a good spot to play Widowmaker on. There's super long sight lines. If they were to get there, it basically assure themselves that they're getting into the building and going on to try and push into third point.
Well, we will see what happens as we are waiting. Go ahead and start thinking about who want your player of the match to be this evening. We have been seeing incredible plays from each team this evening, and I honestly have no idea where I would even start to decide who my player of the match is going to be.
I haven't been talking a lot about him, but I've been paying attention to Puff. The Ana player on the side of Lost Coyotes has been landing a lot of sleep darts. He's removed a nano boost. He's stopped a Death Blossom. He's been difficult to kill in close quarters, at least, struggling sometimes with Widowmaker sightlines. I remember at least one occasion, it might have been more, but I think Puff has been doing a pretty well job, and he's definitely someone I'm keeping an eye on for that later conversation.
I have to say, I'm seeing similar aspects coming out from Spielberg as well, playing on an Ana for a majority of the fight, able to similarly get those anti-nades, get those sleeps exactly where they need to be. Honestly, it's I know that the DPS do a lot of damage, and you might see Reinhardt's swinging that hammer around and getting a lot of kills, but sometimes it really comes down to the support that you have from your heals. And between both teams, I honestly wouldn't know which team has the more heals right now. And I know the attacking team's playing us, so I'm not even gonna look at that until that countdown's over.
I think the big thing, at least for me, watching these two supports, Spielberg versus Puff, that is last map, we saw the nano boost land on both Reinhardts, and only Rebirth's Reinhardt managed to get antied up. And also, when we saw Spielberg taking pressure, he moved back into a room, and the Reinhardt kind of suffered a lot of health loss and did eventually die in one of those engagements because of Spielberg being unable to move forward and heal.
All right, well, it looks like we got the bunker out once again, and it looks like our Schmizmo and the rest swapping up their composition. They did have a ghost strategy coming in, but it looks like they're going for a complete dive. They're hoping to outspeed this bunker if at all possible. The only thing that I'm not seeing is Krev on the Sombra. That really worked out for them last time they stepped down the bunker. Well, I felt that they switched a little late to the Sombra. Krev started off on the Tracer.
It wasn't a great EMP though.
No, it wasn't.
But 5, but it was just at a wonky time where his team wasn't able to follow up.
That's true. I can agree with that, but it is useful against bunker if you can land it well. And right now we're seeing